Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Hour. I'm your host, Miss Kev on Stage, and I'm joined, as always, by my husband and co-host,
the Kev on Stage.
And welcome to our podcast where we are marriage champions. We are not marriage counselors. We do thank you every single week for tuning in and, learning life things with us.
Yes, we basically tell you all of our marital problems for your own enjoyment.
Oh, right. Everything that we've learned thus far. We did like 3 conference calls, interviews. I don't know what to call them this morning.
We had interviews, we had conference calls, we had all type of
things this morning. And the lady was asking us what the goal of the Love Hour is. And I was explaining to her that when we were newly married and I was having like struggles and issues and questions, really, I didn't feel like I found the answers that I needed at my marriage enrichment or women's studies classes or, different things that were available to me. And it is my ultimate hope that the Love Hour provides that information for our viewers.
Yes, absolutely, 110%.
Okay, so
but this is not in place of therapy.
But it is not in place of therapy. Absolutely, 100%. No, not in place of therapy. If you find that we are touching issues in your life that are they resonate with you, we recommend going out to find a counselor in your area. What makes it different, what we're doing versus counseling, is the personal relationship.
And the degree.
Hello, credentials. Yes.
Yes. We're not LMFTs.
We are not LMFTs. We are not certified with child. We ain't got nothing but experience behind us. And experience does count for a lot. However, we don't have, the science to like technically coach or therapy you. To counsel you. So definitely go out and reach out to a counselor. And I was getting this question actually a lot in my inbox. What website did I recommend if you're interested in finding a counselor? And it is therapyforblackgirls.com. They have spawned Therapy for Black Girls, the podcast, which is amazing. I definitely highly recommend it. And then she has a website, therapyforblackgirls.com, where you can find, I believe it's .com, where you can find, she has like a directory for counselors in different cities and all of that. And it's really amazing and you should definitely check it out. So anyway, we talk about
You want to join us, Joshua?
That was funny. On the Love Hour, we talk about life, love, and relationships and the pursuit of happiness. Yes. And we typically start with a this or that question.
And no music this time, Joshua. The jingle.
Y'all have been killing us in the comments.
People were like, "Hey, I got the jingle." But I
want to say this: they don't like it, but I actually think it's totally fine if you don't like something. Please keep it very respectful.
Because somebody made that with their heart and soul.
Yeah, somebody took the time out to make that, and it is important to me that people feel appreciated that they took time and their talent to make something for us. And I don't want them to like feel bad about that. I think that's really important to like build a community in the comments that's uplifting, inspiring, and positive and not negative, because I don't want to discourage people from sending us stuff. We put it up and then you guys like shade room kill them.
I did too. But I will sing the jingle. We'll remind me about this idea after. Okay. And here's the jingle. It's time for That or This with Kev and Liz. Hallelujah. Y'all say what y'all want about me singing. I'm going to sing every day. I don't care what you said about it.
You're so annoying. And
I very much will.
Yes, you will. And they'll be in the comments like, yes, Kev, that's good. They will
because they like That or This with Kev and Liz. Auto-tune.
Okay, this is the question.
Okay.
Leather or lace?
I thought we were off of set.
It doesn't have to just be what's said.
I thought it was going to be like watermelon smoothie or strawberry. But I know you're going to say leather or lace.
Leather or lace.
Man, I like this.
Okay.
I'm now envisioning you covered in leather and covered in lace.
That's enough.
Both visions I like very much.
Okay,
the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain.
Well, how did we have to get here? Can you just answer the question?
Not plain. Know the vision, if only for a while. Amen. It will do just what it said. I'm going to say lacer. That's half leather, half lace.
First of all, it's a this or that question, not this or and.
Fine. Lace.
Lace?
Yeah.
High five. I'm lace too.
Soft around the booty.
Okay.
Leather, I always think of like S&M, 50 Shades of Grey and stuff.
Okay.
Smack me, master. Oh, put that ball in my mouth and gag me.
Why does it only have to be sex related though? Like you can
wear it. What you mean, like a lace jacket versus a leather jacket?
First of all, lace jacket is not even a thing.
That's what I'm saying. But what else could be lace? Could be.
You can wear a lace top. You can wear a leather top. You can wear leather pants. I don't really know about
leather pants. Always have the booty out, like Prince.
First of all, that's not even true.
What kind of lace top is not lingerie or a bra?
I have plenty of lace and sheer tops. That's like one of my favorite things to wear.
You be wearing it?
Where you be?
I ain't seen no
Where
lace.
do you be?
Is it fully lace? Lace front wigs, I know about that.
Hello?
Does that count with this leather lace? You can't make a leather wig. That'd be heavy. I'll take lace because lace is lingerie and I like it. And leather be hot too.
Leather is hot.
Lace is more soft to the touch. And leather has that weird smell.
It can.
Remember in Italy, all that fresh leather when we were in Italy?
Yeah, it does have a
people
weird
didn't
smell.
be able to go to Italy, but we did.
Hello?
Remember though? So much leather there.
Yes, leather does
I was
have
like, dang, bro, is this like the leather capital of the world or something?
It
Somebody was
is.
like, yes. Buongiorno.
I like lace because I know.
Is that?
Yeah.
Buongiorno?
Buongiorno? It's French.
Is it bonjour?
French, definitely. French.
DiGiorno. Roma tomatoes.
I think lace is very feminine and it is one of my favorite like styles of clothing to wear. So it is. This isn't what?
I was just saying I see the laptop now.
Oh, sorry. Oh, but you know why? Because I can't see.
People will accept a little bit of laptop in their
Okay.
screen. A little laptop in your screen.
How did we get here?
You remember that song?
Yes, I do.
What happened to that guy, man?
I don't know.
He never made Mambo number 6.
No, he was a one-hit wonder.
Mambo
for
number
sure.
5 is all
He's
he had.
always on the one-hit wonder list.
He's
actually.
great. Probably
Okay.
cries when that song comes on. Like, a little bit of royalties, all I get. I never
He
had
ain't
a
crying over
follow-up
the
single. You do not hear that song anymore.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Okay.
You're probably crying a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Before we move on, I just really quickly, I forgot to give announcements at the top, so we'll
Hey,
do
man,
that now.
Govern yourselves accordingly.
First announcement, the conference is coming. And the registration date has been established. If you are not on the Love Hour conference mailing list, please text Love Hour to 555-888 now. That is 555-888. Text Love Hour. Send it now. I will manually add you. Well, text that and you'll be added automatically. But if you have troubles, send me an email. I will manually add you to the list because you guys are not going to want to miss this. I'm like super excited. All the supers.
What happened?
I'm very excited. I didn't malfunction. I'm very, very, very excited. And yeah, I know. I can't control.
This is not your mama's conference. Melissa, let me tell you something about this conference before you go. And I ain't going to reveal nothing so you can relax.
Okay.
Melissa is willing to make less money.
Oh, absolutely.
So that she can give you the conference that she wants.
These are facts.
Business Kev on stage is like, girl, you do realize this ain't the Boys and Girls Club. Like, we got to make dollars for this. This is an investment. But I want this, Kevin. Please let me have. So, and I understand Melissa's heart. And we also want to make things affordable and reasonable. Some of these conferences, man, Melissa be showing me some of these people. They would charge $4,000 and $5,000 without even blinking.
Yes,
they get it. So we're obviously not going to charge that much, but we're going to give you the conference of your lives.
Yes. So
nobody else can do a conference like we can.
Yeah, it's going to be different. I will definitely, I know I've said this before, but we will definitely do a full podcast episode around the time that registration will drop, the day before, something like that. And if you follow any bit of my, I don't want to say my schedule, but also I'll say like my schedule with the tour, you probably know the date that I'm going to drop this. That was like a huge hint. So just prepare because people are asking me and I don't want to drop it, but I'm trying to give you guys hints because people are like, I want to be ready. That was your hint. Okay.
How would they know that though?
How would they know what?
Your schedule on the tour.
Because they would know when the Love Hour is.
Oh, they have to click on each city?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I guess we haven't announced what cities I'm doing the Love Hour for.
It's only on the website.
It's coming. It's all coming.
It's all coming.
I was like, nobody would know. We don't even have any Love Hour specific flyers. By the way, you need to talk to Tish about that.
Love Hour specific flyers?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that next. Okay.
Note to Liz.
Note to self. Okay. All right. So we're moving on. So last week we talked about what my parents' marriage taught us.
I want to say something real quick. Melissa hates doing follow-up episodes.
I do.
I am a big proponent for following up. Remember when Melissa was like, the podcast is 21 minutes and then people will not listen? And I'm like, listen, they will listen. So now I've got her to an hour. She will not do a long version. Like we could have made last week's episode 2 hours. She's like, nope. After about an hour, she will stop. And then she doesn't want to do follow-up episodes.
Because I feel like there's no meat on the bone. And what I don't want to do.
That's your problem. You don't know how to eat wings. And when you... No, because
wings are my favorite part of the chicken.
You don't eat them right. When you
got
stop
the
eating,
wrong analogy.
No, you've seen her, Josh. When she stops eating a wing, there's plenty of meat left on the bone. She don't know how to get to that gristle. She don't know how to go around the crevices and work that bone. And that's what it is. That's an analogy for your life. If you ate chicken like me, you know there's plenty of meat on that bone. You take a little bit back. I'm full. Ain't no meat on the bone. When I eat that chicken is like, you know what? I died for a reason. Because if you're gonna clean my bones like that, you respected my life. So that's why. So please, you guys, if you want part 2s, let her know, because what she'll say is like, dang, Kev, a lot of people are like, can y'all do part 2 on this? Then Melissa will push herself crazy to think of another episode. Like, I cannot think of nothing, Kevin. I have no ideas. But people are like, more about that.
I don't want to give a subpar second episode.
I respect that.
And I don't want to push out something.
But
and
I
there's
will never let
nothing.
you give a subpar.
Okay, but
I remember saying like, man, there's so much more. But I respect that reason. I understand that. And I'm glad you said that. But still, I don't think I would never do it if it's subpar. If there was nothing left, I wouldn't say it. But I knew there was more to this than we said.
So I asked on my social medias, and y'all hit me over the head almost unanimously on both my Instagram, and then I also asked on the LoveHour's Facebook page, and it was like quite literally a unanimous like part 2.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to pick up basically where we left off. We were talking about, so the purpose, and we kind of got this revelation like as we were talking about parental, what did we call it? Parental predisposition. And so that
TM.
TM. Yeah.
I made that up.
I looked it up though afterward, and people have talked about this.
I made it up.
Okay, we're giving you the credit.
I didn't know about it when I said it.
Yes, seriously.
See me in patent court. People said parental predisposition.
Yes, I actually Googled
Who said it.
I don't know the people's, but
they
if you look at it,
fight, then.
But they kind of went more down a genetic path. But we're talking about more behavioral based.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the baseline. That kind of the nugget of wisdom, I guess, that almost came out of last week's episode was that we are you're socialized in your family.
Yeah.
And therefore that's like your university of life.
Yeah.
And so when you grow up, my mom listened to last week's episode, and she texted me that as a child, your outward circumstances mold your inward circumstances. And as an adult, what's in you is now what's happening on the outside.
That is so good.
And I was like, oh, yes, that's
why
good.
like in schools, people always talk about like when a child's behavior changes dramatically, the first thing they ask is there any change that happened at home? Yeah. Anybody leave the family? Anybody join the family? Yeah. Because that's usually an indicator of, or a symptom, I guess is the right word, of something. You know, it's funny. I'm going to jump in and abort you on what my parents' marriage I learned from them. So I'm sorry, Dad. I have to tell this story.
Okay.
So in most marriages, the wife wears the lingerie, does the sexy stuff, right? So my dad doesn't watch the podcast, and guarantee you he'll watch this episode because I'm about to tell on him. I was in my parents' room looking for a key. They were like, hey, it's in my drawer, right? They didn't say what drawer it was in.
Okay.
I go in my dad's drawer. It's his drawers drawer. Looking for whatever I'm looking for. I don't know why I'm looking in the drawer. I know why, because I'm terrified of not finding what my parents say find. Because black parents is like, if I have to come up there and find it, that's your butt, right? So I look everywhere, I don't find it. So I start looking everywhere. Going to this man's drawers drawer. Okay, I'm looking for this thing. Pull out these drawers. It's an elephant thong that my dad had, where the
I do not need to know this about my father-in-law.
Went into where the elephant's trunk goes,
and
it had googly eyes on it. So I was like, what is this, sir? And why do you have it? And obviously I blacked out the visual of my father wearing Chippendales
I don't
underwear.
want that visual either.
But that taught me like Pops was willing to get in there and do some entertaining. Okay.
Yes.
Magic Willie the prequel.
Please do not call your father Magic Willie.
His name's William.
I know that.
His stripper name would be Magic Willie. So I was like, okay, pops, okay, you got to. And sometimes you got to bring some spice to
your relationship.
bedroom, and other times you need some enhancement in the bedroom.
Okay.
And Blue Chew is a perfect male enhancement for the bedroom. Now, I used to think if in order to use enhancing pills, you needed to suffer from erectile dysfunction.
Oh, got you.
You have to be like, a doctor has to say
something was wrong with you.
Yes. And what I like about Blue Chew is it's a little pick me up.
What'd you call it last time? Coffee
for your peen. It's like a 5-hour energy.
It's a 5-hour energy
burst for your weenie. We used it. I had a triple-double in the bedroom. I had 35, 15, and 12. Your boy was out here. They were like, man, whose man is this? The ref was calling timeout. Melissa was like, oh, my, Kevin, I have known you for a long time. I have not known you to be this way. And now I'm welcoming my venture into old age. I mean, I'm only 35 now.
Yes.
I know eventually Father Time's undefeated. I'm really glad the kids are going to be old enough to be out of the house soon. With the economy going the way it is, I don't think they will be out of the house. Sure. But they'll be on a different side. The way our house is about to be, you feel me?
Okay.
I'm on the west wing. Yeah, don't come over here past 10. I'm dealing with your mother. Amen. So with Blue Chew, I love it. It is a chewable enhancement that makes your life very much better. Because what happens for me is, I'm going to let you talk, but I travel a lot. And sometimes I'm tired, but I'm never too tired for sex. And Blue Chew is a pill that helped me perform at a level that I like to perform, even though I didn't have that energy yet. It provided me with that extra boost to finish and close. And boy, there. Did we finish.
So I wanted to say that Blue Chew has partnered with us on previous podcasts, and they have been very successful. We've had plenty of testimonials either via DM or email. This lady actually sent me a really funny email. I'll have to share it on another episode. So anyway, if you're interested in taking advantage of this offer, right now we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit bluechew.com and get your first shipment free when you use special promo code LoveHour and just pay $5 for shipping. Again, that's Blue Chew. That's BLUECHEW.com. Promo code LoveHour to try it for free. Just pay $5 for shipping. And testimonials have proven that this is beneficial. We want them to continue to support the podcast and offer you this deal. So please go to bluechew.com, enter promo code LoveHour at checkout to take advantage of this offer.
Amen. We won't lead you wrong.
We will not lead you wrong. Okay. So with that said, what is your first lesson that you have learned from your...
In addition to my dad's elephant draws?
Yes, in addition to elephant draws.
So here's an interesting one. So me and Melissa were talking about this last night, and I realized some things are positive, some things are negative.
Sure.
For my family, most of the last week I talked about was positive. One thing I learned negative from my parents is that choosing your family, and I mean, when I say family, I mean your extended family outside of your marriage, above your marriage, can be harmful. So one thing that happened in my parents happens in my parents' marriage is they will make an agreement financially. We're saving money. We're paying a credit card off, right? But my family can be very persuasive when it comes to visiting. We haven't seen you in a long time. We're going on this vacation. I need to see you for Christmas or whatever. And my mom, she will break the agreement between her and my dad. And we're going to Texas, or we're all going to Vegas, or I want to come here, whatever the case is. So my dad was often frustrated because he's like, man, we be agreeing.
Yes.
And when we agree and then you don't agree, like, I can't do it by myself, because my dad wants my mom to have everything. So and also my mom is like, pretty much like, if I'm going to do it, I'm finna just do it. So you can just be upset, but I'm finna go to El Paso, so my dad would be so mad. Like, I'm trying to, like, I remember a very specific example. My dad got so upset about this. This is when the Sega Genesis came out, right?
I think I know the story.
Yeah, you know every story. Because you'd be like, Kev, get kidnapped or something so you can tell your story. We've been together 20 years. There ain't much new happened that you ain't aware of. But me and my brother were begging for a Sega. Finally, my mom was like, all right, we're going to get you guys one, because she's the real OG. And I remember driving to the PX, which is the military, like, mall, like imagine if a Macy's had everything.
Sure,
like
that's better.
From clothes to groceries almost.
It's almost like Target, actually.
Target.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a military Target. So we're going to the PX and we're picking out a Sega, and on the way there, my dad is like, "That's it, Sheila, we're out the game. We get these boys a Sega, we are done. We're gonna be living on the streets." He was super dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
And I remember being in the back of the car like, we're just gonna have to be out the game, man, because all my friends have it. We need it. Like, I need it. But she kind of did that type of thing all along the way. So that's something I learned from the opposite way.
Sure.
Because I saw how frustrated that my dad would be. So I made sure, and what honestly happened is sometimes it created a little bit of friction between my family. Because early in our marriage, Melissa and I couldn't afford, especially when the boys were super little and we were paying daycare bills and we were working on.
And once your kids are above older than 2 and you got to pay for 4 flights?
4 flights was like, fam. So there was a good, 10 years where we did not go nowhere for travels. Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah.
Like 10 years. And my family would beg us each year, but me and Melissa were like, we weren't going to go into debt to go on vacation. Like, as much as I love vacation now, this is mostly because we couldn't do it for the first 10 years like I wanted to, because I didn't want to be what my mom was to my dad. If we made an agreement, then I wanted to stick to it. So when we were getting out of debt, this is my last thing I'm going to say on this. When we were getting out of debt, Melissa and I, credit card debt, thank the Lord we're out of that. We actually never even talk about that.
Oh, we could talk about that.
We should absolutely talk about that because we stuck to it. It was really important that we wanted to get out of credit card debt. We still got student loans. I mean, shoot, we ain't rich like that. But credit card debt.
That's not even a goal of mine, but continue.
Yeah. Y'all can kick that little 118. It ain't nothing to me. We agreed that we were saving X amount of dollars per month and we were not going to do anything outside of that. No vacation or whatever. Like, we built in like a vacation, I think but we were saving like a good amount of money per month. And by the end of 2 or 3 years, we would have been debt free. So I agree.
We weren't saving. We were
it was called a snowball.
A snowball.
It was a plan. It was a get out of debt plan. You pay off one credit card, roll it over, pay off another one, and you balance transfers and doing all that stuff. So it was working great. But Melissa knows I wanted to go on vacation. Like, she knew that like I need to go out of town. So what we agreed to is we would do it basically 48 weeks out of the year. We stuck to our plan.
It was basically just the holidays. From
Thanksgiving to Christmas, we didn't do the snowball. She allowed me to use that little bit of money to go on vacation. We went to Disneyland one year, Vegas another year, little small vacations. But because we had a fair plan that we both stuck to, we were able to A, get out of credit card debt, and B, still go on the vacations that we went on. And they were like little money vacations. Like, we went to Vegas and stayed at Circus. And them rooms were legit $22 each. And when we got in there, we were like, oh, this is why. This is why. These are $22. Like, Circus wasn't the same. But it was important that I didn't do what my mom did to my dad, which is break agreements. And I just realized that's what made me mad with Doughboy a couple weeks ago. We agreed to something, and he broke that agreement. That actually is a big thing for you. And that's a huge thing for me. Like, if you say you're going to do, because I always hold my end of the bargain up. If you say you're going to do it, then do your part. That's a good thing. But the other thing that I hear you saying is that, one thing that I hear you saying is that you don't always have to be unified in terms of agreement, but you need to be united. Yes. So behind closed doors, we don't have to agree, but we have to come to an agreement so that we are united, especially with kids. Outward. Yeah, with kids, but specifically you're talking about with money, like with your kids, money, anything that deals with your family, anything that deals with your family. In the background, we won't always agree. We're two different people. We have two different perspectives, two different point of views, two different goals, approaches, all of those things. So when we have like a decision to make, we may not be united. But once we reach an agreement, we then have to be and I think, or we don't have to be uniformed is what I meant, but you then have to be united. Yeah, and it's the same thing people do at work. You disagree with something, but if you're like in management, we both were in management. Sometimes things came down from upper management, and you would disagree within the leadership. In the boardroom, you disagree. You told it, but outside, once you told the company line.
And that's what I think is important is what you're saying is that if we reach an agreement in the boardroom, so to speak, that even if we didn't agree, even if we weren't united initially, even if we weren't uniformed initially, once we go out to the world, we are a united front.
Yes. And that's how me and my siblings, we used to play our parents off each other.
Oh, we used to get in trouble if we ever did that.
We never got in trouble.
Oh, my parents made that a thing.
Really?
If mama says no, do not go to daddy and looking for a yes.
And you do that with the boys. We do that because we do that
where
we don't we don't let him play off of each other.
Yeah, that was definitely something that was important.
But I knew that to spend the night, I'd ask my mom.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. You end up doing that. But then again, even if you have like a disagreement or a different approach to like spending the night or whatever it is, even if you're not uniformed, again, in the boardroom, we say, they're not allowed to spend the night over these people's houses, or they're not allowed to spend the night on these days. That is, we've come to an agreement. Now, when the kids ask, even if they come to me or you, they're going to get the same answer. Yes. So then it's not, I want this, I'm going to ask mama. I want this, so I'm going to ask daddy. You have to be united on that front.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to add? So one thing that I wanted to talk about was that I grew up churchy. Everybody knows that. And one of the things that I learned growing up is that divorce is not an option. And when my parents got divorced, it taught me that divorce is an option.
Absolutely.
And what I learned through that initially, and I'm going to try to explain myself as best I can, because this is always like a trigger for church people specifically. And it's always, divorce is not an option. Divorce, I don't know what you're talking about. You speaking divorce over your relationship, over your marriage. And I'll be like, okay, everybody simmer down.
Here's the thing, like just saying divorce is not an option doesn't mean anything.
And that's my point.
Because people get divorced in the church.
And this is what I want to say.
Pastors, deacons.
Hold on, I wrote this down.
Worship leaders. Lay members.
What you often find in the church is that divorce isn't an option until it's the only option.
Yes.
And that's what happens. So we just tell ourselves divorce is not an option, but marriage is work. Marriage is maintenance. Marriage is ever evolving and ever changing. And if we're not doing the work behind the scenes, but we're steady yelling divorce is not an option, you get to a point where you're so fed up and so unhappy that you're just like, now I have to divorce you. Yeah. I literally don't know what else to do.
Right.
And I think that's where we're missing, where we're preaching this. And I understand the sentiment behind it.
Makes sense. Yes.
I understand the sentiment, and I'm not disagreeing with the sentiment. But the reality is that in the United States of America in 2019, I can divorce you. And that's an option.
People do it every
and that's
day.
A reality.
Yes.
And I believe personally that by saying that divorce is not an option, they were actually removing the power of choice. And thereby removing the power that I have in saying, I love you. And I am choosing to stay.
Right.
I'm not a slave to this relationship. I am not without will. I am not without a choice.
Yes.
And to me, that makes this bond, this relationship, the I do, that much more powerful. Yes. Because the fact of the matter is, every day that I get up and I am choosing to stay with you, I am reaffirming my love for you. And that's not slavery. That's not I am without choice. That is not I am without a will. I am choosing to stay here, and there is power in recognizing that I have that choice, because the reality is divorce is an option.
Yes.
Did I explain myself good?
Absolutely. It happens
okay, good.
All the time.
I want to just make sure that I explain myself as clear as possible, because I've often said, and when my parents got divorced, before they got divorced, child, listen, I was in a fairy tale.
You was out here, Alice in Wonderland.
I really was.
My mama gonna be okay. My daddy too. What y'all mean y'all got divorced?
Literally was in a fairy tale, and part of the reason why was because the way my grandparents married, divorced. My grandfather, Rolling Stone. This man,
children.
Just as an example of like how player he is. So we all went on a family cruise a few years ago, and we were crossing through the casino. We see my grandpa in there talking to a young lady, and we're like, hey, mind you, we ain't seen him all day. He just been ghosts. We don't know where he's at.
15 of us are on this
and we cruise. Don't, where's grandpa? We don't know where he is. He's in the casino macking. So we pass by him. I sound old, don't I?
It was the bomb diggity. Soul brother.
For real.
What?
So we're passing by him and we're like, hey, Grandpa. And he literally says, shh, don't call me Grandpa. Don't call me Grandpa.
You were 60 years old at
literally bald cane,
gators,
suit with gators. Nobody's rocking Stacey Adams.
Stacey Adams sandals with the soft church socks, and the thin ones.
You don't think she thinks that you're a grandfather? Stop it.
Go.
Stop it.
Don't
like, did you really just shoot us? Like, that's my grandfather. Even to this day, we went to go visit him a few years ago, and we went to Cracker Barrel or wherever we was. Golden Corral. That's where we were. And this man can't halfway walk. I mean, he's the coolest cat, but truly he needs help walking and stuff. He's getting up, trying to flirt with the waitress. She's probably my age. He's trying to, can you just give me the butter? You know, you slide like the butter. Can you stop?
Sir,
can you stop?
I bring sweet tea and that's it.
Like, stop.
I was uncomfortable. I was like, I'll get the butter for you.
It was very uncomfortable.
Let this woman go. He was holding her. Oh, no, I can't even walk the way I used to.
He is quite hysterical.
I'm blind now.
Yeah.
I'm blind.
So anyway, I say all that to say that my parents weren't raised in an environment of a 2-family household. Mm-hmm. And so I recognize that, you know, and so when my parents went through hard times and they came out on the other side and I grew up and then we found the Lord and I'm like, yes, this is life. My parents are together. We love Jesus. We're preaching divorce is not an option. This will never hit my life. I am in a bubble.
A glass bubble.
I'm a
glass case of emotion.
Yeah, seriously. But I am in this glass bubble that is protected by this phrase, divorce is not an option. So my parents will always be together and things will always be fine and the end. That's like literally the end. And so when they got divorced, it was a rude awakening. It was an awakening that told me, despite what people say, the fact of the matter is that divorce is an option. Mm-hmm. And while I never want to exercise that option, it doesn't negate the fact that it is an option. Mm-hmm. And every day that I get up and I put this ring on, every day that I get up and I honor the vows that I took 15 years ago, I am reaffirming my commitment to this marriage. And there is power in that. And I'm not a slave to this ring. I'm not here without will. I'm not here without choice. I am not a mail order bride, or this prearranged. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, I'm wondering why you're doing all that. You're making me nervous.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm nodding yes.
Okay.
Most people would understand that's agreement.
I know, but your face was saying.
No, I'm
okay.
You, man.
So anyway, I say all that to say that divorce is an option. My parents' divorce taught me that divorce is an option, and it helped me to reframe my marriage and recognize that I have to work on it in order for divorce not to happen.
I'm thinking, like, I've known that had an effect on you and all that stuff, but I think it like even became more clear to me now. It was like, remember on Willy Wonka when Willy was all like happy and fun and stuff, and then like at the end they saw him in the office.
Oh,
he had his hat off and he was like at work and they were like, oh my God, like the whole like persona and stuff was gone. I think that's kind of what happened in your life. Like marriage was it was a thing.
It was a foregone. It was a given.
Yes.
And I think when you think that divorce is not an option, you think that it's easy.
Yes.
And maybe that's my naivete because I was young, but you just kind of think that, this is what happens and it's no big deal. We're not going to get divorced and there's not
and your parents
so
had
much
through
work.
a lot of stuff
and
too.
They did.
And they made it through, which reinforced that belief that divorce, because they had went through like some serious stuff and made it through, and you were young enough to, like we always say, Melissa and I, kids are more aware of stuff than we've seen.
Absolutely.
And you were aware of that stuff, so when they finally get divorced off of something that they had made it through before, then you're like, oh snap.
And what's interesting, I want to just really quickly give this statistic. I cannot find. Oh, it's on this page. Okay. I was reading, and this is the statistic that I looked at. Researchers say that 86% of divorces are the result of non-severe circumstances. That means that marriage-ending circumstances are not related to severe problems like abuse, abandonment, or adultery. Instead, they are fights about money, kids, sex, and other emotional issues. And what that told me is that we are not doing the daily work of marriage. It's not these big, cute. And what happens is the daily work turn into abuse, hopefully not abuse, but adultery specifically. It's those little
untreated
issues,
sex
untreated
problems, disrespect,
and then
leads you to the catalyst.
Exactly.
Are
those smaller? I don't know.
For catalyst, it was
impetus.
Impetus.
Yeah.
Impotence. Blue chew.
Okay.
Anyway, that is the trigger or the catalyst that leads to those other things.
Right.
But have you dealt with that? You're less likely to get to that point.
Exactly. And if you're not doing the daily maintenance, it's an erosion.
Yes.
It's just the slowly destruction of your marriage.
And you know what else is important?
And that's and that's when you have nothing left. I got you. You have nothing left, and then divorce is not an option. And this erosion is happening when you're saying divorce is not an option, and then divorce becomes the only option.
Yes.
Go for it.
On that same point about, it's gone now, but on the same point about daily maintenance.
Yes, I was with you.
You were?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
You got to also maintain your body.
Absolutely.
Daily. And Melissa, Josh, and I, we're back on the healthy kick. We're eating better, working out.
I'm only on the healthy kick for 2 reasons: a flat stomach and a bigger butt. Amen. The end.
Well, with our friends at OpenFit, you're able to focus your workouts to targeted areas.
Yes.
Like your core and abs.
Yes.
So tell them about OpenFit, Liz.
So they offer, first of all, it's tons of options on there. You can they have workout plans that are tailored to your glutes. That's what I'm working on. To your gluteus maximus, your core, your arms, your legs, all of these different options. They offer yoga. They offer 10-minute workouts, 45-minute workouts,
600 seconds
workouts, which is 10 minutes. 45. They have workout options that are without equipment, which is important to me because I don't be liking to go to the gym and I don't be liking to buy equipment. So allow me to use the stuff in my house or just my body weight.
And the thing I like about OpenFit is not only that you don't have to have access to a gym, you also don't have to leave the comfort of your own home.
Yes.
And for me, the thing about a lot of my life is convenience. Like I travel a lot and sometimes I just don't want to leave. The way I see it, the gym that I use from time to time, and not often, is 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
So round trip, 30 minutes, maybe even 35 if you count like getting in and out of the car. I could be done with my entire workout at that same amount of time
and
showered
not have
and
left
ready,
the comfort of your home.
Not have left the comfort of my home. And my kids know I'm there. And that's the thing about our boys. I'm realizing sometimes they just want us to be there.
Sure.
They don't necessarily talk to us.
Yeah.
They just know we're not gone.
Yeah.
If they walk by in the kitchen and see us sitting in the living room, they're like, all right.
That's real.
They see me working out. The kids see me. They're like, oh, Dad, you working out? All right, fam. I'm finna eat ice cream. They don't care about my feelings. But I love that about OpenFit. And you can watch it on your TV, on your laptop,
yeah, it's on the
your
go.
phone, on your iPad. I can set up, my iPad has one of those little things where you can make it a screen, like a display. Yeah, my phone too. So I can just set up in the hotel room because I like progress. So I like to do the same workouts and see, okay, how far.
And it does track your progress. It tells you how many workouts you've done, which can be encouragement.
Absolutely encouragement.
So,
seeing how much better I feel like when I first started versus 4 weeks in, 8 weeks in, that type of stuff.
So OpenFit has changed the way I work out. And with my code LOVE, you can join me on the fitness journey personalized just for you. Again, use my code LOVE and start using OpenFit for your journey to a healthier life. Right now, during the OpenFit 30-day challenge, my listeners get a special extended 30-day free trial membership to OpenFit, where you can lose up to 15 pounds in 30 days. When you text LOVE, that's LOVE, to 303030. You will get full access to OpenFit, all workouts and nutrition information, which we talked about the last time, but they have nutritional information, which is totally helpful. And that's totally free. Again, just text LOVE, that's LOVE, to 303030. Okay, so thank you to OpenFit. What is your...
My next one was a really valuable lesson.
Tell us.
And my parents were teaching me this, but my dad called it out when I was in college and I didn't even understand it or appreciate it till then. My dad was saying, because he got orders to move to Spain.
Okay.
And it was a hardship tour, which means your family cannot go with you. And my mom and sister were moving to El Paso. My brother was older than me, so he already had his own apartment. And I was kind of stuck because I was living with them at the time. So I don't remember how we got into this conversation, but my dad was saying, we didn't always have enough money or all the money we want to get you guys all the things we wanted you to have. But what we try to always do is give you guys a safe space to grow up in. And I realized that growing up in a home without arguing, yelling, people grew up with their parents literally hitting each other.
That's so true.
Throwing stuff, arguing, car pillouts, whatever that is. And that was just their day-to-day life, and my parents never did that. They did have arguments, but they were very calm and they were few and far between. And my dad was telling me how he, that was intentional. Yeah. To make sure that we had, we came home, it was like you came home to food, to, a comfortable temperature, and to peace. Yeah. And I realized, Will Smith talks about that. There's happiness is not pleasure, it's peace. Yes. You think it's pleasure, but you think you're having fun when you're riding a jet ski, and you are. Yeah. But remember we took the boys? We're like, let's pay for 3 hours. And Liz was like, let's just do an hour and see how you feel. After about an hour, we were like, okay.
I'm done. I'm tired.
Bye. And even like a roller coaster, they're fun because they're pleasurable, but they're short. Short, right. Like if you were on a roller coaster that was an hour long, you'd be like, I'm going to throw up. Yeah. This is not fun anymore. But peace, which is, last night, I asked Zay, where's Joe? And he's like, I think he's in the living room. We go in there, this man knocked out on the couch, sleep. And I went there and laid a little blanket on him, and I was like, oh, what a moment. And just the fact that he could do that, they got their own space, their own room. We don't spoil them by far with like toys and stuff like that. They get moderate amount of toys, but they have calm in their house. They have parents who respect. There's a lot of absolutely valuable. Yes, laughter, joy, jokes. Their memories are 100% more jokes and laughter than anger. And a lot of times as a kid, you don't appreciate that. Sure. You know what I mean? I didn't appreciate that because it was always the thing. But I was talking to friends of mine. I started telling that story to other friends of mine. And they were saying how that was not the case in their life. So true. There was turmoil, even moving a lot. Yeah.
And it's not something that you recognize or even appreciate until you're an adult and you realize, because you don't recognize that that's not necessarily the case for everybody. And so you appreciate it that much more when you're an adult and you can reflect back on it.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons we try not to move a lot. Before we moved to LA, our kids lived in the same house for
since Isaiah was born.
6 years. Born in that house, 6 years. Moved to LA. We stayed in one apartment for 1 year, and then moved to the house. We've been in this house for 5 years. Yep. So
that's stability and
that's
structure.
Stability. And Melissa, we were talking about buying a house. Luckily for the boys, LA houses are so expensive. We need a little bit more time. But she was like, I'm thinking about maybe we stay here until the boys graduate because, one, I want to make sure that we can get the house that we want. And two, just so they feel like this is their home. Yeah. You know what I mean? And going to the same school. We grew up in the Army. And before that, man, I went to 3 high schools in 4 years.
That's actually the reverse of what I want for my kids, because I did move so much. That it's important to me that they have roots that go deep.
People be like, I know this person since 3rd grade. Yeah. We never lost touch. I'd be like, bro, there's no one I've known since 3rd grade who's not related to me. Sure. Because we all moved. 3 years max of our relationship. And that was on a base. Yeah. The chance of a kid moving there the same year you did were hardly ever. Ken Telsey's, I met him in 99. Him and Ann are probably the only people that I met on an Army base that I still keep in contact with, this many years later. So that's one thing I learned from my parents is the value of peace in a home and passing that off to your children, and the value of them not having to worry about where their next meal's coming from, their next clothes, and
their next clothes,
and whether you're going to end up in an argument. And I passed that on to Zazer and Jojer.
So I have a question for you. What is the legacy of our marriage that you want to leave for the boys?
The legacy of our marriage?
Yeah.
Whew. That's a heavy question to just throw in on the third act.
I didn't prep it.
The legacy of our marriage for my boys is one.
That you want to leave.
That I want to leave for my boys.
It would be up to them to tell you if you've succeeded.
They better tell me I succeeded, or I'm going to whoop them. They got to go to bed. How to create a loving home.
Okay.
I want.
So that's a legacy that your parents left for you.
Yes.
That's not me.
Is you or Josh?
It's not me.
Is it your phone?
No. My sound is. Oh no. Oh no, my sound's off.
It's not my phone. It's on my phone.
It's not me.
Is it the laptop?
It ain't.
It's off.
It's not off. You just turned it off.
No, that was there like that the whole time.
Nah.
No. It's off.
Text her right now and see if it makes a noise. Go put it back the way it was.
That is how it was.
Okay. Do it, Josh.
He's texting. Oh, maybe it was this.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, did you just text right now?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
It was you, wasn't it?
It was the laptop. Okay, keep going.
No. Here's the chance where you apologize for it.
I apologize.
See how she don't want apology?
I said it was me. I didn't know you wanted a full apology.
What did you say it was you? Just now?
I said it was me. Keep going.
It was me.
Rewind the tape. Because I said it was me.
These
Keep
cameras
going.
ain't used tape in years and you're showing your age. People who were born in the 90s cannot stop saying tape.
I don't care. I say record. I say tape.
Go and tape this. Tape JoJo.
The tape rewind.
Yeah.
So it would be my hope that I pass off. The thing that my dad taught me the most was how to be a great husband. And that was, he started off with a husband and then father.
Yes.
And he treated my mom with respect.
Child, that's a word because
love.
that is an important order.
Yes. He was always calm with my mom. And my mom's disabled a little bit. It's kind of hard to say that because she don't act like it, but technically she is disabled. She's legally blind. She cannot see. Shout out to Donna Goodall. But he was always loving, caring, sacrifice to my mom first, and then to us, and then he would be last. And I think he taught me how to love a woman with everything and give her everything and treat her with respect, kindness, love, and provide for her. And then as a father, how to support your children, be there for them, provide, but more than like monetary, you know what I mean? Like especially even at 35, like with this whole Asian thing, my dad's been my go-to
with
guy.
this whole what? Agent.
You guys said Asian?
Yeah.
No, agent thing. Like I value his advice.
Yes.
And I hope that my children think highly enough of me to value my advice at their current age and as they grow.
That was good. I asked the boys, what have we taught them in our marriage? And Joe actually had some really insightful answers. But one of the things he said was that that you can disagree and still be a family. And I thought that was...
McWoj said that?
No, Joe.
Jojo McWojer.
Oh, I thought that was
McWays.
Yeah, McWays.
McZaze.
Yeah,
He's not
I don't
McDonald's
know. Yeah,
product.
sorry. You'd be having too many.
McWays, McWoj.
Yeah, so Joey said that. And I was like, that is so good, Joey, because you're right. And it goes back to the idea of being, you don't have to be uniformed. Right. And I think a lot of times to be united.
That's good.
And I think a lot of times we think that in marriage that we need to be like, everything has to be in agreement. We have to agree without like having a discussion about it first. And the fact of the matter is we don't. And so it was good that because I wasn't sure that they recognized that we disagreed on things. I wasn't sure that they recognized, because I do think it is important for kids to see healthy. We're going to let you save
heard my
lives.
mixtape. It's a fire.
I think it is important for kids to see healthy disagreements.
Yes.
I think it's important for kids to see that we disagree and we were able to come to the table together. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, because I was telling my mom this too, I was like, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but after Germany, which was a troubling time in my parents' marriage, I don't recall my parents arguing after that.
Really?
Yes. And so
that's where you learned silence. That's
what I'm saying. So it was like I learned an unhealthy view of arguing, and then I didn't see the healthy replacement for that. And so it's important to me that my kids are able to model a healthy disagreement, in their own relationship based off what, the conversations that we have.
Yeah. And that's all I saw was healthy ways to argue.
I think that's so important, even more important, because a lot of times I do think we're only exposed to the negative, and
Absolutely.
It's important to see and give our parents the credit that they deserve.
You know what else?
Oh, go ahead.
Thanks. I was modeling myself after my brother first as a man, and movies. how to be a player.
And movies are the worst.
And my brother.
So
and my brother
realistic. Let me tell you the problem with movies.
No. I want to keep saying stuff.
I just want to land the plane right here just a minute. Because I want to explain to people why movies are the worst form of teacher. Because they're heavily influenced from a male's perspective. Mm-hmm. And they're the writers often and the directors often. And so they're not this. That doesn't really matter. But my point is the behaviors that you see on there are men teaching men what they think women want.
Yes.
Without any influence of women.
Yes.
So these scenes of like, we're just coming in and clothes are being ripped off. And the woman was like, well, what's your name? What's your favorite color? What's your mama like? Can we sit down and talk first? And so men think, oh, that's what marriage is. That's what relationship is. She's just going to be ready to go all the time. And that is not the reality for most women. And if you only have movies as this is what reality is, or porn, it is it's not even romanticized. It's just not realistic, and it's very one-sided. It is only the man's perspective.
Movies don't have the time to say, hey, connect with your wife.
No, I disagree. I think that the reason that you're only seeing partly.
Let me be right sometimes.
No, because you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's about
seen, heard, and valued.
It's not. I want you to. It's not about the time. It's the fact that there is no diversity. There is no women to say, what do you think about this angle? What do you think about this? Do you really think a woman would do this? I think that a woman would actually be more like this.
Yes.
Because without that woman's influence, it's just a bunch of men saying, what I would want to do is for her to do this.
Yes.
And it's all fantasy in their mind that they're playing out. We can lift off from that.
Thank you. It's more of a helicopter than an airplane.
Child, whatever. Don't correct my analogy.
And now I forgot what I was saying, which is what I was afraid of. And you just took my thought to do yours. Oh, I was modeling myself as a man after my brother. And my brother was young, obviously, and he was still trying to be a player.
Okay.
And he would have a whole bunch of girls and this and that, and I like this one and that one. And so I was like, okay, cool, I want to be like my brother. And my dad, low key, stay low and build. He's just with my mom, loving one woman. So luckily, I saw more of that than my brother. My brother got older, started hanging out outside the house more, and I just saw my dad. And I just was like, man, I'm more like my dad than I am my brother.
Sure.
So I switched focus and was like, I saw the value in just loving one woman, the great times, the inside jokes, the fun, the laughter, vacations. And I was like, I can see the value in sharing all that with one person and not acting like somebody I'm not, which is like, even when you met me, I was like, what's up, girl, with you? Or what with you, girl? And it wasn't until you were like, look, I'm not going for that. It's me or no one. And I was like, it's you. I didn't lock nobody. I never locked nobody else. I never even seen nobody else. You know, so I think that was important to have a person with which to reference what that looked like and be okay with it. And that's why part of the reason why I was so comfortable marrying you or wanting to marry you is because I was like, I could be like this forever. I don't have to go out and try 3 or 4 different things and see if I like this or that girl or this or whatever. Like, I'm okay with us being together and growing together.
Very good, Kevin. Very good. Thank you. Okay, what's your next pointer?
It's yours.
It's my pointer? Okay, my point is, let me find it. Hold on. Oh, so the last thing that I learned from my parents' marriage is that your marriage is not stagnant. It is dynamic and it is always evolving. And if you're not evolving together, and you don't have to evolve at the same pace, but you always have to end up on the same page.
Expound. That was good.
Okay,
I lock it.
I just made that up, so let me figure out what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes, like specifically for us, you were evolving in like the field of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
At a much faster rate than I was evolving. And I saw that potentially as a way of separation.
Yes.
Because you're going down this path, I'm going down a different path. And so I'm saying we don't have to, and it could have been, like literally that could have been a dividing factor. In fact, I think it was a source
last year
of contention. But that's okay as long as either A, you recognize it, you have a conversation about it, and eventually you wind up on the same page. So even where we are now, we're not evolving specifically in terms of entrepreneurship at the same rate, at the same pace, but we are at least on the same page.
Yes.
And that's what I think is the most important. And I think what happened with my parents is that the physical separation helped as well. When my dad went overseas and my mom was still in the States, they evolved separately. They evolved at different paces. My dad was still in like this old space. My mom was evolving on it. She went to bump a page. She went to a whole other book and didn't allow my dad an opportunity to catch up to her. And then that led to the split.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm saying, that marriages do evolve. They change. They're dynamic. You're changing. I'm changing. Yesterday, I didn't like hot sauce. Today, I do. Those things happen. But as long as we eventually wind up on the same page, your marriage will be able to grow together.
And the other thing is, I was just thinking about this. Part of the reason I could evolve so fast with entrepreneurship is because of my parents.
Yeah.
Because my mom had always been doing this. And I feel like it's kind of been always a part of me. Like I've told you before, I used to sell candy.
Sure.
I did the lawnmower thing. Like I always had a hustle. I was doing plays. Even before we were making money, we were trying to.
Yeah.
Like we was always like, if we just sell this many seats at this many dollars,
yeah,
we're going to make $1 million. You know what I mean? But you, neither of your parents did that.
Right.
It wasn't in your family at all.
Which also makes sense because that's also why I was like, so everything's a best case scenario. You're going to sell all the seats and make $1 million. And that's going to be the end.
It's funny that you say that. Because on the last year's tour, for the most part, I did what I thought I was going to do.
You did, but also I would have agreed that you could have sold out 200 seaters.
Oh, would you have?
Yes.
They weren't all 200.
Well, I know, and I was fearful on the other ones. But what I'm saying is I would have agreed that you can get 200 people in any given city.
Well, you ain't say that.
Hello? What's your next one? Or actually, we need to go to our last sponsor.
Yes.
So who do you love? Your mom in your bed?
Who do you love?
It was a Drake reference. You didn't get it.
Well, I'm going to go 90s R&B first.
Okay, go for it.
Are you for sure? Who do you love? I love my bed.
Okay, you love your bed. And Joshua actually took advantage of our promo code. His bed is being delivered today.
Yeah.
I'm very much
now
excited.
That's Doughboy and Josh.
Doughboy and Josh
have the mattress from Purple.
The mattress from Purple, which was made by who? It was rocket science.
It was a NASA scientist.
Yes.
Who designed a bed that is both firm but soft.
Yes.
And listen, we talk about this often. We talked about losing weight and eating right and all that type of stuff. Health is really 3 things.
Okay.
It's your diet,
yes,
your exercise, and adequate rest.
Yes.
And I am a big proponent of adequate rest.
Yes.
One of the main reasons we hired a tour manager this year was so that we did not have to go to the venue at 4:00.
Yeah.
And
I probably still will when I go out on the road, but that's fine.
Yeah, but you only have one show.
Yeah.
I have 2 shows.
Sure.
So I be at that hotel sleep. When I get home off the road, I be sleep. And I sleep so well because we have an amazing mattress.
And aren't you going to spend like a third of your life asleep or something like that?
A third of your day is usually sleep. If you're getting a proper amount of rest, 8 to hours. You don't have to get 8 hours, but when you sleep well, you don't even need to sleep as long. I don't know if that's scientific, but I know that, like, it's funny. When we first moved to LA, me and Melissa tried to lay on the floor because our bed hadn't been delivered yet. And I realized past a certain age, maybe 6 or 7,
you should not sleep on the floor.
The floor ain't fun and it don't feel right. And thankfully, we've been able to invest in a good mattress for a while. But our early days of marriage, you talk about laying on a rock in a hard place. And that's why we was like, man, is this marriage going to work? I'm upset, you know. But even our kids now have great mattresses. Like, we make sure they get good. It's so funny because our kids have great mattresses. They be like, I'm not even tired. Y'all keep making us go to bed. They be gone, especially Joe. And that all because we have great mattresses. And when you have a great mattress, you sleep better. And when you sleep better, you have a better day.
Absolutely.
And when you have a lot of better days in a row, you have a better life. And it starts when your eyes are closed because you need to recharge and rejuvenate, especially if you work as hard as we do. You need rest. And if you just have a regular job, like entrepreneurship aside, When I worked at Boeing, all that travel, all that
rest
driving.
Rest is important.
Rest, baby.
So
rest.
Right now, Purple is offering a 100-night risk-free trial. If you're not fully satisfied, you can return your mattress for a full refund. They are backed by a 10-year warranty, and you get free shipping on returns, which is it's a pretty awesome guarantee.
Josh still has one night of 100 to go.
Tonight is night one.
Tonight is night one.
You're going to sleep like baby boy.
Yes. We'll get Josh's testimonial on the next episode. You're going to love one more time. You're going to love Purple, and right now our listeners will get a free Purple pillow with the purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the great free gifts that we're offering site-wide. Just text LoveHour to 84888. The only way to get this free pillow is to text LoveHour to 84888. That's LoveHour, LoveHour to 84888. Message and data rates may apply.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Yes, we need to talk for a little while longer.
Okay, we got about 15 minutes.
Pull that question up from the listener.
But, okay, so are we done on this section?
Do you have one more? I thought you had one more.
No, I don't. That was this part.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to finish that out?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were afraid we weren't going to have enough to talk about for this full hour, so we're just going to go to one listener question, and I actually get this question quite often, and so I wanted to pose it and answer it. I'll do this one. Okay, so the question that I get in my inbox all of the time is, what event spawned Melissa's Just Say It campaign? That is probably, after that episode, I think I still get questions like, what, how did you do it? What happened? How did Kevin take it? So I will not give the specific circumstance that led to my Just Saying It campaign.
Really?
No. I will not publicly. I will not on the podcast.
It's not the nail tech thing?
No. There were a combination of things when I stepped back and looked at my life that helped me say, oh yeah, this is actually a problem for me.
I realize what it is and why you don't want to say it. And now we're on one team.
All right.
We're not united. I mean, we're whatever.
Uniform. So. Well, we're uniform and united because now you're on my safe way.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, why are you surprised?
Yeah, because I thought it was a nail tech thing. I was like, girl, you said that in an interview this morning.
No. So there were a couple things that happened specifically on the tour that I didn't say things. I didn't speak up, and they bothered me. And we had talked about this before. It bothered me that I didn't say anything, but it also bothered me that I felt like Kev didn't say anything for me. I realize now that was unfair.
Thank you.
But in the moment, that was my honest feeling.
That's actually an important distinction.
Yes.
Realizing something that is unfair in hindsight.
Yes.
But in the moment, you react however you react. And a lot of times people expect us to be perfect in the moment.
Right.
And it takes a second. Like this morning, we were on the phone. I'm going to let you finish. But you called me out on something.
Oh,
you
yeah.
think you better than you is. And I was just like, you're right, actually. I do need to chill on that. So, and that we've been working on that.
Yeah.
But early in our marriage, we did not do that.
Well, yeah, you need time to I think it's okay. Not that you have to be angry and upset and go buck wild on people, but I do think it's important to be emotionally honest in the moment. But it's also to recognize that was a wrong emotion.
Yes.
And that's why it's important not to be led by emotions in the moment.
Yes.
Because although they are real, they're not often right.
Oh, that's good. You're having a good game today.
All right.
20 and 10 easy.
Okay. So I try not to be led by those emotions. I'm not perfect. So anyway, after the tour was over, and I've said this a gazillion times, introspective as I am, reflecting, having a moment, thinking about who I am, where I want to be, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And I recalled one instance in particular, but there are two. And I didn't say something, and it bothers me today. My palms are sweaty right now.
Are your knees weak?
And they're not weak, child.
Arms heavy?
Arms are heavy, though.
Vomit on your sweater already?
Vomit's definitely on my mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous.
But on the service sheet,
and actually, I'm not. It's not yet. That was Eminem. If you didn't get that,
I'm glad as a unit we were all on the same page. because I just felt like we needed to.
He's in there working. It bothered me so much, and it was definitely something that was a trigger. Mm-hmm. And because I didn't say anything, it made me reflect on other things that have bothered me that I haven't said anything. Mm-hmm. And so the nail thing is just an example of truly, it was an issue for me. It is an issue for me. It's something that I'm like currently working through. So I say all that to say I probably never will. I've shared it with you. Mm-hmm. I think that's more than enough. I don't want to incriminate. I don't want to give names. Joshua was on the tour. If I give circumstances, he could put names to people. And my point is not to bash. Mm-hmm. And it's not about... you can finish what you're doing, Joshua. Okay. And the point is not to call out people, because honestly, if I said the true issue, like the one specific circumstance that happened, our followers would be trolls to this person, guarantee. And the reason I know that is because
they trolling you about the news.
They do troll, but even more than that, there was I'm trying not to be vague, but I also have to be vague. There was a meme, like a tweet meme that went around.
We need a word for that.
I call them tweetgrams. Is that not what they're called?
No, a tweetgram was a certain app that people use
to make those.
Yeah.
So then it just became
tweetgram. You're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Okay. I don't know. Textgram maybe. Anyway, the point is there was a textgram, tweetgram, whatever, going around on Facebook, and it asked the exact question: how would you react and fill in the circumstance that happened to us? Did you see it?
Yes.
And I was like, and I responded wrong.
Also, people are a version of themselves on social media that they are not
true.
often in real life.
No, that's true. However, my point is that people be like, what happened? And who did what? Well, let me help you. Because at the end of the day, even in my silence, what happened was wrong and disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And that I am sure of.
It could be whatever.
And that I am sure of. It was wrong. It was disrespectful. And it was something to me that I would never do. I'm going to stop.
You getting close.
I know.
You getting close.
It is something. That's why I stopped. I recognize where I am. I'm moving back. I'm stepping back. I'm retreating.
And all you doing is making it worse for the listeners. Like, girl, tell me what it is.
And I know I hate that because I don't want to be vague, but also I need to like purposely be vague. So the point is this. Something happened. I thought that it was disrespectful. I was upset with myself that I didn't say anything in the moment. I was upset with Kevin because I felt like he didn't say anything. And I realized that's not his responsibility. I should have said something. This is a deep-rooted issue. This is a problem that I have. And I'm going to let you have that. This is a deep-rooted issue. No. Because I also still do think that you should have said something. But in the moment, also, I should own this. So anyway, I say all that to say that's what happened.
That's where Just Say.
So you said nothing.
I said nothing.
That's where Just Say it came from.
And that's where Just Say it came from.
Really, all it came from is something that happened that you didn't like, and you allowed it to happen, and you realized you were not going to do that anymore. And two things happened. So even though the first one was the heavier one, but the fact that something else happened, I was like, first of all, I felt like, are you trying me? That was another thing. It was like, what's happening? Hey,
are you trying me a little bit? Yeah.
It could be whatever.
And this was the other thing too. And again, this is why the Just Say It campaign is so like personal for me, because I also feel like if you always speak your truth, you have to come off as rude.
Yeah.
And you don't have to.
No.
And so part of it was like that realization that like you can say how you feel and you don't have to. And my natural disposition, I don't think, is rude, but I still can say.
Sister Willis don't think that.
She never said I was rude.
Stuck up.
She said, forget her, because that's just not true. She just didn't like me. That's just not the truth.
That. Just
say
you don't like me.
I would much rather you say, girl, I just don't like you. Okay, that's cool. I don't know why, but that's cool. So anyways, so the first thing happened, it bothered me. It still bothers me. The second thing happened, it bothered me, but not as much as the first. Like right now, I'm actually want to take my jacket off because
it could be whatever. That's why.
No. And
what's
it doesn't,
good?
and not that, but just because it bothered me so much, and I hate the fact that I didn't say something.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the end of the tour, when I think about that, and I think about just my life in general, I realize this is a problem that I have. I don't often speak up. I don't often speak my truth. I often don't say, that's offensive. Don't say that. I don't like that. Don't ever say that to me again. And I need to have the courage to say those things.
You know, it's funny. Your youngest son says that there's been countless times he's told me something and I've been like, bro, hush. And he's been right. And he's been like, I told you.
Yeah.
And I've every time apologized to him because I want him to be able to say
that's an important behavior
right.
that you're modeling.
Parents did not. That's one thing I learned from my parents. It's okay to apologize to your kids when you're wrong because when you don't, it teaches them that you don't take accountability for your actions.
You know what else I think it's also teaching them? That as an adult, you're always right.
Yes.
I think that's more of the lesson.
You think that's what I learned?
No. I'm saying that's what you're teaching kids.
Yeah.
So it's just that I'm the adult. And I'm right.
And I'm right strictly because I'm the adult.
Exactly.
Not because I'm right, but because I am the parent. Whatever I say is right.
Exactly. And when you come back and you say, I was wrong, I made a mistake. Yes. Then as an adult, you realize I can make mistakes. My child can be right. I can apologize. And it's not like I think adults don't apologize to children because it's an ego thing. Yeah, child, you don't matter. Get out of my face. And really, you should be modeling
your kids
that
do not
behavior.
Forget it either. We were at dinner around. This is a quick story.
Okay.
QS.
You are Pastor Story Boy.
I don't care. We were at dinner, claim jumpers. We all order our food. For whatever reason, there's a side of caramel, and I think it's ketchup.
Because you ordered apples.
I ordered apples. And I also ordered fries. So I thought it was ketchup. Zay tells me, Daddy, that's caramel. Boy, why would it be caramel?
Obviously.
I didn't talk to him like that, but I was more like, boy, why would it be caramel? Jojo, Daddy, I'm pretty sure that's caramel. You ordered apples. Why would they put it in this tub? Joe, you're wrong. Fried dip. Eat. It is caramel.
It was absolutely caramel.
Like, we told you it was caramel. Well,
first of all,
caramel.
I was about to say, you keep saying it wrong. It's caramel.
Caramel, it's whatever it is. It could be whatever.
Do you say caramel or caramel?
I usually say caramel today, but I'm growing and changing.
Okay, go.
But the point is, and that stuff has happened. I remember one time, this is dumb. Joe was hitting Isaiah. I hit Joe and said, don't hit your brother. Let me hit you. I walked in my room and said, that was the stupidest thing ever. I remember that. That was dumb. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Came in and apologized to him. I think that's the last time I hit them. I was just like, this is kind of dumb.
I hit them all the time.
Do you?
Yes. Smack them in the head. Get out of my face.
You don't be hurt them though.
No, I should though.
You flick their ears.
No, I don't.
You flick my ears.
I flick your ears.
Don't flick my ears.
Okay.
You ain't flicked them in a minute, but it could be whatever.
Okay, anything else?
No, I think that was a good episode.
Did you have anything you wanted to add? Do you have anything that you want to add to my just say it in the question? And I want to apologize up front because I know y'all going to be like, Melissa, first of all, you told us a bunch of nothing.
Absolutely.
So I want to apologize up front that honestly, I really didn't say anything. I truly didn't say much of anything. And I recognize that, but also know that it's intentional.
Yes.
I am being vague. I'm intentionally being vague. I'm intentionally being unspecific.
She's intentional.
Not being specific. It's a great song.
Being vague.
Yeah. Because I don't want to, it's not about the other person. It's really about the effect that it had on me and allowed me to be and do better.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So last things. Thank you to our sponsors.
You had an announcement at the beginning. You didn't say them all. Something about Liz's list or whatever.
Oh, I did. Don't forget that we're reading Girl, Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. I took a ton of notes yesterday for the chapter that I'm on right now. And she was just talking about making time for your dreams. And you have to be intentional about making time for your dreams. So I thought that was really, really, just really good stuff. Very inspirational. It actually was the impetus to me going back and doing my book. I wrote a devotion. I kind of did a skeleton outline for a devotional a few years ago, and I've decided I'm going to pick it back up and finish it.
Nice.
So there's that. List's Lifts. If you're interested in getting that, you can go to audible.com. We have a free 30-day trial. They're one of our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors for today. That's Blue Chew, Beachbody, and Purple. Again, if you're interested in joining the Love Hour mailing list for the conference, registration will drop basically in about 30 days or so. You can text Love Hour to 555-888. Follow us on the social media. I am at Miss Kev on Stage.
Kev on Stage, Kev.
And you can also follow the Love Hour podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
God bless you. God keep you.
We'll see you at the conference.